Hello everyone, in today's video, I will show you my Lightroom editing workflow from organizing the photos in external hard drive, importing into the Lightroom catalog, and diving into the editing process. Without further wait, let's look at it. So the first step after I come back from the shoot is first of all to have the backup in the external hard drive. So let's start with that. So I'll copy the folder that I want to import to my external hard drive. I'll go to the photos folder and I have created the folder based on each year. So in my 2023 there is a raw folder. I'll simply paste it over here, and once it's done I'll rename the folder so I know like what exactly the content of the folder is. I will rename the folder based on the place that I have taken photo. So in this case I will rename to Austin Downtown, and after renaming the folder I will open Lightroom Classic, and I have created the catalog based on each year. So I'll simply drag and drop the folder to the Lightroom catalog, and this will import all the images. So I'll check all the images and click import. And as you can see, all of my photos are mostly on the hard drive, and I directly edit my photos directly from the external hard drive, and that's where I have created a catalog as well. So now after the photos are imported, what I'll do is I'll just go through each of them, and if I like any photo I'll simply give a rating of maybe 1 or 2 so that I know this is what I like, and I can basically edit that after picking up the photos. So I'll switch the view and go through photos. So maybe I like this one, so I'll give a rating of 2 for now. Let's pick few more photos, and to give rating I simply press the number 2 on keyboard to give rating. So you can press 1 to 5 depending on how much you want to give rating to each photo. So after picking up the photos, what I do is I'll simply go to the develop tab, and here I'll put a filter of 2. So it will show me the photos that we have picked, and I'll only edit those. So the first step of editing is very simple. Again, I just want to see how the photos look, and if there is any particular image that I want to edit, I'll spend more time on that. So first of all, I fix the lens correction and transform to auto, so that way it removes the distortion from the image. Next, I will apply the auto adjustment to the image. For that I will use the keyboard shortcut Command and letter U. So it does the auto settings. If you see it over here, I'll go to the next image. I do the same thing, Command U and lens correction, and the last one, Command U, lens correction and transform. Out of all 3 images, I like this image better. As you can see, this is the image where the guy is kayaking early in the morning in Austin Downtown, and even the sky is good. You can see the highlights in the sky. So we'll start with the cropping tool, and I will reset the crop, and I'll click auto if there is any alignment. Lightroom will pick up that automatically. If not, then I can simply create a line along with the track, and I'll reset again and click on the angle button, and then draw a straight line on the railway track, so it will align the image along that, and I'll press enter on the keyboard. Okay, so this looks a little bit better, in a straight line. Now I'll increase the exposure a little bit, so you can see there is the image is more on the left, on the darker side on the histogram. So I'll want to move a little bit on the bright side because the highlights are very dark at this point. So I'll increase the exposure a little bit. Now if you see histogram, highlights are recovered, and let's work on another aspect. So if I increase dehaze a bit, it will show that colors in the sky, and if I decrease the clarity, it will remove that sharpening on the sky. Let's increase vibrance and saturation a bit. Now we can see that blue and yellow popping up. And now what I want to do is create a mask to show this guy in the kayak highlighting. So we'll create a radial gradient, and let's increase the exposure a little bit so that we can see this guy, and increase the highlights. So we can play around with these settings and see what looks nice. And as you can see right now, the white is really coming up on this part of the image, so we want to make our gradient a little bit bigger so that it doesn't look like highly edited image. And as you can see, like once we make it a little bit bigger, it looks more natural and the image is overall very well lit. So let's create one more mask for the sky. And now I'll increase the brightness here again a little bit, decrease the highlight so that we can get those nice color out, and decrease the shadow a bit. I'll decrease the blacks, temperature little bit warmer, not too much, just a bit. And this looks really good. At this point I think the image looks really nice and very good. So let's export the image. So before exporting, one more thing that I want to do is, like, right now as you can see the naming for the file, it's DSC0015, so that's like a default name that the camera has given. So what I can do is, like, I can switch to the gallery view, switch to all photos, and I'll select probably like all of them using Command A, and in the library I'll go to rename photos, and I'll rename the photos based on date and the place that I have taken. So this image is taken in Austin downtown, so let me rename that. I'll click OK. So now you can see the photos are renamed Austin downtown 1, 2 and 3. So either I can export directly from the library, or if I want, I'll go back to the develop module and I'll simply right click on the image, click export, and I use a temp folder to store all my export images. And if there are like bunch of images that I want to export, I'll create a subfolder. And for most of the settings, I'll leave it default. For the file settings, I usually keep it at 70, because if I know that I'm not using it for uploading it on my website, or if I'm not printing it, then I'll use 70 so it doesn't occupy too much storage. And other than that, for output sharpening, so right now I don't know where I will use it, but if I know I'll be using it for uploading on the website, I'll use screen, or if I'm printing the photo, I'll use glossy paper. So I'll uncheck this for now, and I'll keep other settings as default, and I'll simply go ahead and click export. And that's it. This is my complete Lightroom workflow. I hope you find this video really helpful. And if you have any questions, or if you want to share the tips from your own Lightroom workflow, please leave it in the comment section. And until next time, happy editing.